Headstrong people. They weren't people that came there to waste time on the island. So after, coming as laborers, working on plantations and so forth in towards the end of the 18th century, they all decided that when they came to the island, they didn't really get the permission from the Chinese government to come to, the Caribbean. So they were considered, what the terms they would use are. They were considered rebels, people that didn't have the permission from the Chinese government. So they weren't welcome in the sense that people from Great Britain or people from Lebanon or people from Israel or wherever they came from. But the main fact is that they were adventurous. They pursued their endeavors. Some of them went on to open up grocery stores, bakeries, whatever. But then there were a set of them that wanted to venture up into the entertainment. They started out by, making up bands, artists, musicians. They had guys like Byron Lee of the Dragoneers, Phil Chen of the Vagabonds. There were other guys like Cecil Lloyd of the Vikings, and they go on. But then there were also producers, not only musicians. There were producers: Leslie Kong, Justin Yap, Vincent Chin, Charlie Moe, and also, attentive women. I went up to the wall today and I got so exhausted walking for so long, and I'm a little bit haggard, but I'm not going to keep it up too long. I just want to kind of interject the early entrepreneurs of the music business. Oh, I'd forgotten Herman Chin Loy, my dear brethren, Leslie, well, I mentioned Leslie Kong earlier. I think I did. I'm sorry if I didn't. Yeah, Leslie Kong was one of the early guys that got involved in the music, guys that set up artists like Jimmy Cliff, Toots and the Maytals, also quite a few others. Oh yeah, sorry, Desmond Decker of the Aces, Poor Me Israelites, how could I forget it? And then there were other guys, as I said, we all played a pivotal part in the music enterprise, the foundation. And myself, came along, not in an early stage, but in the 70s, when I started out after leaving school at the age of 19. I recorded my first major recording with my schoolmate, Horace Swaby, aka Augustus Pablo, which I'll play later on. But anyway, I want to, leave the floor to you. I'd like to answer some answers, and I'll give you the questions. I'll give you the floor. Anything you would like to ask me, be more than welcome. I can answer them, hopefully, to the fullness of my ability.
Yeah, I'm curious if you could describe a little bit what the Randy's record shop was like and the recording studio, right, which was above it, and just describe a little bit what the atmosphere was like and also the conditions that you made those legendary records in.
Okay, well, that's a good one. I can answer that one clearly. Thank you. When my dad started Randy's back in the late 50s, he started out mainly with just used records. But then there was a need for recordings in the island. Everything was coming from New York, Miami, and they were primarily a lot of American music. I remember gravitating a lot on Nat King Cole, Perry Como, Jim Reeves, Charlie Pride, Patti Page, Connie Francis, just to name a few. But then before that there were others,